If you want your country prosper, oh, that's more nutmeg and banana.
Hi there, I am Mike Noel. Welcome to the Nutmeg Tree. On our program today, Butchko farmer and member of the Board of Directors, Dr. Francis Antoine.
No longer would the nutmeg sector be as beneficial to our farmers and communities as it used to be since 1947. Instead, what we'll have, resulting from the liberalization process, is the effect of what existed before 1947 or what currently exists in Indonesia. So it becomes incumbent on the GCNA to ensure that we maintain a single organization, ensuring that we continue to produce a better quality Grenada nutmeg, ensuring that we maintain and improve the price that we pay to nutmeg farmers, ensuring that we get the best price on the international market, and working to ensure a single organization that ultimately benefits the Grenadian economy. So the farmers need to be mindful of the effect of liberalization, and therefore we need to ensure that we be in dialogue with the government to ensure that nothing disastrous, nothing adversely affects the Grenada Co-operative Nutmeg Association, neither the Cocoa Association, because the two sectors have been targeted for liberalization according to the letter of intent sent to the IMF in June of this year, 2014.
Well, what is your relationship between the board and the government at the moment?
The relationship between the board and the government, I think, is fairly good. I am not aware of any discord between the government and the board at this point. In fact, we've been able to work harmoniously for the last 15 years, as far as I'm aware of. So there is no discontent or discord between us.
So the reason why I asked you this question, because the other question that was coming to is the need to strengthen the nutmeg sector. And how can that be done?
That's a great question. How can the sector be strengthened? Well, one way to strengthen the sector is to actively and aggressively pursue the issue of value adding. Right? By value adding, that would ultimately bring in greater revenue for the association and to the farmers, and ultimately to the Grenadian society, Grenadian economy. So that's how it would strengthen that would be the greatest benefit to be had. You know, in order to get to that point where we have value-added activities going on in our community, the board needs to put together and implement the plan that they currently have, which is the plan to ensure that we produce a better quality nutmeg, to ensure that we produce a greater quantity of nutmeg, to ensure that we get involved in the processing of nutmeg, i.e. the question of grinding of nutmegs for the market, regional and international markets. The question of producing oil, and I'm talking about nutmeg oil of various qualities at that, for various consumers in the international market. The question of being able to package just shelled nutmegs and packaging that for the grocery stores, the question of being able to produce maybe, custom ordered quality products, nutmeg products for various buyers. So we have to pursue those issues. We could also pursue the question of strengthening the industry by partnering with key manufacturers of nutmegs domestically, whereby we have local entrepreneurs wanting to do joint ventures with the Nutmeg Association. But we also need to support as much as possible those independent, local independent manufacturers and of nutmegs as much as we can, and if we could work together collaboratively, then that would ensure that we strengthen the nutmeg sector.
Let me ask you another question, Dr. Antoine. It is said that the farmers are aging. And when I say aging, there are a lot of people between the age of 60 and 70 are farmers. I could remember talking to two students of the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School recently, young people. And it is said that what the Nutmeg Association is doing, because that young guy tell me he's a farmer, and I was impressed with him, a Farm 5 student. What the GCNA is really doing in order to get the young people there, because if it is the young people who have to keep GCNA going.
Yes, of course, the labor force for the agricultural sector has to be replenished by the younger people. Okay. Yes, it is a fact that most of the nutmeg producers and most of our farmers are, mature adults, middle-agers and seniors who are actively involved in the sector. The question is, how do we ensure that we have a continued supply of farmers years to come? And the way to do that is to ensure that there is a number of things. One, the youths, the students currently in school, and people coming from university need to understand that the agricultural sector represents more than just the tilling of the soil. Okay, the agricultural sector represents value-adding enterprises such as processing nutmeg oil, grinding nutmeg, processing nutmeg pods into jams, jellies, right? Extracting various components from the nutmeg pods, for example, because of the quote-unquote potential pharmaceutical benefits. The question of making greater use of the nutmeg shell, for example. There are quite a number of possible areas that the nutmeg shell can be applied. Okay. Some people just take it and throw it in the yard, but there is more to that. There is also the possibility for value adding based on the nutmeg wood itself, the tree, for furniture making. I understand that the quality of the wood that comes from the nutmeg is of such a unique quality. It's considered to be of premium royal quality, if I may use the term royal, because apparently some of the royal families use nutmeg wood in their furniture. Okay. So there's a lot of potential for value adding. The question is for us to ensure that students know that there is this area called the agricultural sector that is organically and integrally linked with manufacturing, so that there are a number of avenues for value adding of most of our agricultural produce. If students understand that and begin to think, okay, maybe I could get into some farming process or in the manufacturing sector that makes use of the agricultural products, they will realize that there are a lot of avenues for quote-unquote independent entrepreneurs, all right? People who want to be self-employed, people who want to start businesses, okay? And so students need to recognize that there's a career path to be obtained or to be followed if they want to pursue some aspect of agriculture, be it the direct farming, be it the manufacturing, okay? In addition to that, the question of marketing of some of the agricultural products or manufactured products is an area that students probably need to recognize. We don't have a very highly skilled marketing personnel in Grenada. Okay? That's an area they could pursue. We don't have highly skilled technical expertise that could advise on specific crop products and the technicalities involved. The point I'm making here is simply students need to be aware of the fact that there is a sector called the agricultural sector that's organically linked with manufacturing, and there are career paths that can be followed. If they understand that, there might be greater interest in agriculture and manufacturing. Yeah.
Okay, we spoke about the need to strengthen the nutmeg sector and how can it be done. Did you speak about that already?
Yes, that was the second issue we discussed just there.
I just want to do it for people who joined us late in the program, because you are late joiners. If you can just see something again about it so that the people who join us late.
Well, basically I was saying there are a number of things that could be done to strengthen the nutmeg sector. And one of the major things is the question of value adding, right? And increasing the amount of nutmeg that's produced. Other areas that are probably missed out were the need for farmers to understand that they need to ensure that they pick up most of the nutmegs as early as possible from the field, right? They need to understand that they need to handle the maize better. But we can also strengthen the sector by ensuring that we have a source of young farmers and entrepreneurs who can replenish the elderly farmers. So that too would help in strengthening the nutmeg sector. Okay, so I think that's about it.
Well, we are in the Christmas season, and it seems that you're making the farmers feel happy. We didn't talk about the bonus, man.
Well, yes, this year the GCNA board is going to ensure that the farmers get about $1 million in the surplus payment. Okay, and that will be as a result of the 2014 year, financial year, ending in June 30th of this year. Hopefully it makes the farmers much better, because if the overall, that's a significant percentage of the overall surplus bonus profit the organization have made at the end of 2014. And for the farmers to get about $1 million, it's remarkable, okay, compared to past years when much greater profits are made, and sometimes farmers didn't get, sometimes they got a very small percentage of the profits made. So yeah, I want to wish the farmers a Merry Christmas. Hope that they enjoy the season, and that they begin the new year with greater hopes for the nutmeg sector, and more enthusiastic about their farming, and that they become more aware of the potential that exists for the sector. And if as farmers we continue to be organized, we continue to be united, we continue to be disciplined and productive, there's tremendous value to be obtained, from the nutmeg industry, nutmeg sector. And I look forward to work with the farmers over the next year or years, if possible. Thank you.
Well, can you tell me there's another question I want to ask you. I understand there's a joint working relationship between the cocoa and the nutmeg sector as far as extension work is concerned. How that is going?
I am aware that there is this joint extension service between the cocoa and the nutmeg sector, where the two organizations merge, get the extension officers to work together collaboratively in the field. And this is supposed to achieve some benefits to us in terms of efficiency, right, and effectiveness. So it seems to be going, I can't give you much details on the issue, but it seems to be working fine based on my discussions with the couple of the officers that are involved in the program.
Dr. Antoine, we have been talking for a long time. Perhaps we can wind up with some final words from you, sir.
Well, my final word would be for the farmers to recognize that we are at a juncture where we can face tremendous challenges ahead of us. And in order to face the challenges, we need to be disciplined, we need to be organized, we need to be united. But we need to be honest with each other, we need to be hardworking and very productive. At this point, I just want to say thank you, Mike, for allowing me to have this discussion with you. And also the best of wishes to the farmers for the season, so that they themselves can begin 2015 with renewed energy and enthusiasm.
That was Butchgrove nutmeg farmer and director on the Nutmeg Board, Dr. Francis Antoine. Let's stop here for today. I am Mike Noel reporting.
If you want your country